everybody doing this morning? Y'all doing great. I'm doing great too. I know y'all see me smiling a lot, man. I'm gonna get up here and be myself. I was scared, but I'm good now. I'm gonna get up here and be myself. Y'all see me smiling a lot just because I'm happy to be up here. I got some stuff that y'all need to hear, man. The Lord gave me. I'm happy to be up here. All right, now I'm just giving a message. Nothing biblical on this morning. Just a message pretty much to the youth, even the older people. People up in age can use it too. It's not necessarily for the youth. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. The subject today is, what are you hooked on? Now, I know a lot of things may come to mind when I ask, what are you hooked on? I'm going to be transparent. A lot of things people can be hooked on. People can be hooked on drugs. If you're a fish, you can be hooked on a hook. You get caught. If you are hooked on a toxic relationship, you're hooked on an ex, you're hooked to a situation that you no longer need to be attached to. There's so much stuff we can be hooked on in this world. You know, we can be hooked on social media. To be honest, that's something that's a little hard for me. I'm trying to break free from social media. It's a little difficult. You know, I'm gonna get that. I gotta do like Pastor Courtney say. I gotta set what Pastor Courtney. He probably watched that. I gotta do like Pastor Courtney say. I gotta start setting me a time on that social media, cause if not, I'll sit there and be on there all day. And my wife fuss at me like, you always on that phone. So I'll be having to. I gotta set me a timer like Pastor Courtney. Now, how many people in here like to fish or been fishing before? Okay. What y'all be out there catching? What you be catching, baby, whenever you go?
What I did catch one was a catfish.
Catfish. People catch a lot of that catfish. Every time me and Stanika go, that's her favorite thing to do. We go out there, we fish, we catch a lot of catfish. Might catch a croaker, you know, might catch some white trout, whatever. So, these are some examples I have of being hooked. Now, say we are the fish. I'm just speaking analogies. Say we are the fish. The people in the body of Christ are the fish. Jesus is the ocean. Okay? So we have to be mindful not to let the enemy pull us out of the safety zone of God. And what I mean by that is, we the fish, we have to watch out for what we get hooked on, okay? Because once a fish get hooked, what is a fish doing? It's squealing and squirming and fighting for its life, trying to get away, right? Okay, so we have to be mindful not to let the enemy pull us out of that safety zone. And what I mean is, a fisherman, he'll throw his rod out, he'll get the fish hooked. Now, you got some smart fish now. You know, sometimes we think we smarter than God, you know what I'm saying? You got some smart fish where they'll come and they call it rob you of your bait. They'll come rob you of your bait and they do it real quick. Now, something else, another way a fish can get hooked, another way we can get hooked is bears. You got bears, I don't know if y'all ever seen the bears when they go out and they be in there trying to catch the fish and they get them with their claws and they pull the skin. You got bears. Bears can hook a fish, or either you can be the pelicans or the eagles or the hawks. Every time I go down the causeway and I'm on the way to work and I'm going to a job site, I see these little hawks and these other birds sitting up on the light poles, and they just be sitting there studying the fish, waiting for them to jump out the water. You know, they sitting out, the fish don't know they watching them, but they sitting there watching, waiting to devour them. They just sitting there just watching. Every time they jump out the water, they going right back in. And guess what that fish get? He got that bird got that timing right. For when that fish jump out that water, he gonna go ahead and go swoop them and get them and take them out of his environment, his safety zone. Now, the safety zone for that fish is that water. Because once that fish get out that water, that fish gonna die. It can't breathe, okay? Now, you cannot allow the devil to draw you out of the safety zone of God, okay? Now, a fish, like I say, it gets to swimming, it gets to trying to break free, but the moment it comes out the water, it's fighting for its life, okay? Now, we as people, like I say, we the fish, just go with me here, we the fish. We in the water, Jesus is the water. We have to be careful not to get hooked on certain stuff that's going to pull us out of the safety zone of God. Okay, now we got to be careful what we get ourselves hooked on. Now, this is an example. When we are the fish, God is the ocean. When we get distracted or lured away from God, we ourselves into the danger zone. Now, as soon as we get pulled out that water, we in the danger zone. We didn't left that ark of safety of God. Okay, so we in there. We about to get ourselves in some stuff. You know, we about to get messed up because we didn't got the devil to lure us and pull us away from what we should have stayed at in the first place. Now, we cannot survive out of the safety zone without God, just as a fish cannot survive when it's out of water. Okay, so when we get out of that safety zone with God, at that instance, we fight for our life. You know, we fight for our life. We trying to do everything on our own. We trying to do this. We trying to do that, but we can't do it without God. We can't do it without Jesus. Okay, so a part two of what I want to say is choose your associates wisely. Now, a fish, yeah, it can get hooked, but it can get caught by a bear. It can be caught by one of these birds flying around that's been watching it. It can either be caught on the hook by a fisherman. But you got to watch the crowd that you be with too. Now, I don't know if y'all ever watch the movies or y'all see these shows where these fishermen be out here and they be throwing these big nets in the water and they get all these fish and they be in the net, they be squirming, trying to get away. Okay, now sometimes we can be with the wrong crowd at the wrong time, okay? And that's just like with fish. You can be a solo dolo fish, you know, swim by yourself, always alone, but the moment you get with the wrong crowd, it can cause you to be swept up with the rest of them. And just because you hanging with the wrong people at the wrong time, then hey, there you are in the same situation as them, and now you out of that safety zone of God. Okay, so we need to stay in that safety zone with God. And that's called the enemy has set so many sets and schemes to draw you and everyone you're connected with out of the safety zone. Now that's his motive. That's what he come to do. He come to steal, kill, and destroy. If he can get you out of your safety zone with God, then he got you. Okay? And it's this demonstration with I don't know, I'm 26 years old. I still watch SpongeBob. Okay? I like SpongeBob. It's a lot of stuff I like to watch cartoons whenever I do watch TV. It was this episode with SpongeBob and Patrick where Mr. Krabs kept telling them, hey, stop playing on those hooks. Okay, he trying to warn SpongeBob and Patrick to stop playing with the hooks. Okay, Patrick ain't really want to listen. SpongeBob was that friend like, hey, Mr. Krabs say we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't play on these hooks. Patrick like, oh man, don't worry about Mr. Krabs. These hooks ain't gonna hurt nobody. It's not gonna do nothing. So I'm sorry. So Patrick ended up getting hooked. And Patrick ended up getting taken away, okay? Because Patrick didn't want to listen. SpongeBob, he ended up getting hooked later on in the episode. But I'm gonna play this little video for y'all right here. He running over telling Patrick, hey, Mr. Krabs say don't mess with those hooks. See, Patrick being hard-headed, that's what get us in a lot of situations to begin with, being hard-headed. That's the bait. The cheese is the bait. He getting baited up. Finna get got. He testing the waters. Patrick gone. All right. Nah, it wasn't long. I wasn't intending for it to be long. But it was necessary, like I say, for the youth, but the grown people could have used it too. You know, the youth have to, even myself in these days and time, I always say, man, I want some friends. I want some new friends. I want some But I be kind of iffy though, man. I be like, man, I don't know what time people really be on. You know, I want some friends. I want this friend, that friend. Want to hang around more people, but everybody don't be on the same type of time as you. Everybody don't have the same purpose as you. You know, and God wants you to be lined up with people that's aligned to your purpose and your calling, right? So, in closing, I just want to say to the youth, you know, choose your friends wisely. Be careful what you get hooked on. There's so much stuff that you can get hooked on out here, you know, but just use your head, be smart. Don't let peer pressure you know, get the best of you, because the same thing some people are egging you on to do, they won't even do it themselves. Okay, so that's it. I'm closing. That's what I got for y'all. So, yeah. Thank y'all.